Hey there. How's it going?
How's it going?
How do you feel about the set?
The set was great. I'm surrounded by really talented musicians, and I'm super blessed to be able to play with the people I get to play with. And yeah, it went really smoothly.
Can you briefly introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Melo Green. I'm from Providence, and I just put out an album that I think is great called Laminar Flow. And yeah, I love creating music.
Tell me a little bit more about Laminar Flow. So that came out in November.
Yeah, so I spent a long time just kind of building concept and trying to figure out what I was going to do. I came across laminar flow, which is when water appears to be frozen when it's not actually, when it's still moving, when it's like in flow. And I think that just for me, the core definition of the album is like, look, just because I'm not doing anything on the internet doesn't mean my life isn't in motion. And at the time it was because I was tinkering away at this album. I was like working like 14 hours a day, and these are all things that I wasn't really going to post, and I just felt like I think that's something that resonates with people. Your life isn't made important by the internet and the phone. It's made by the things you do and the people you surround yourself with and the way you treat them.
Tell me a little bit more about where you draw inspiration, whether it's life experiences or different artists, or I know also your dad is a musician, right?
Yeah. So, my dad, he was a rapper. He still is a rapper. And he was a producer in the late 80s and in the early 90s. So I grew up just playing around in his studio. And my parents were both really big into music and the arts, and so we were listening to all kinds of stuff. So that was kind of the beginning influence. And then I think my biggest influences as musicians are Stevie Wonder and Miles Davis are really my two. They're like my grandparents. I listen to them all the time. I still come back to their records all the time, and it's a really huge part of my writing.
You recently moved to Rhode Island. What drew you here?
Yeah, so I moved from Worcester to Providence, and I was just super drawn to the music scene here and the culture. I had a buddy of mine, a friend of mine, his name's Matt Johnson, shout out Matt. And he's been here for almost 10 years, and for a long while he was just inviting me to parties and having me come out here, and I got to see just the arts community and just how cool everything was here. And I was like, oh man, it's a kind of a diamond in the rough, it's a smaller city. I feel like this is where I want to make my move.
What do you love about the music scene in Providence?
I love the people and the culture, and I love just how down everyone is to meet each other and collaborate and support each other. It's not at all cutthroat or competitive, and that's how it should be. Point blank, yeah.
Beyond being Melo Green, you also do a lot of other things in the music space. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so as a musician, I break bread a ton of different ways, and you kind of have to if you want to just only do music. It's a hard claim to hold. So I teach voice lessons during the week. I do teach private lessons, and then I play in a wedding band. I do a lot of bars and nightclubs. I play a lot of I play for 3 hours, and I'll do covers, and I do all that kind of stuff. And then I also play my original music and sell my album and all that. And so it's just multiple sources,
So, Melo, what's next for you?
I've written about 8 songs since I released the album, and I'm probably going to start really cracking away throughout the next couple of months in the summer.
Well, Melo, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you so much, yeah. Thank you, yeah.